Earth wasn't supposed to matter anymore. Not to the galactic powers, not to the ancient species that wrote the laws of the stars, and certainly not to the Thalzir dynasty, who once claimed the Sol system as little more than a mining prospect. But empires don't forget. They may abandon, they may retreat, but they never forget what was once theirs. And so, when the Thalzir returned after 4,000 years to find Earth blooming with independent life, humanity pushing past its own system and lighting up trade routes in the outer spirals, they didn't ask questions. They issued a claim. This planet belongs to the dynasty. Vacate peacefully, or face royal enforcement. The message was delivered by Lord Commandant Ravak, heir to 1/3 of the Thalzir Empire and speaker for the throne. He expected panic. He expected humans to submit, or at least posture for negotiation. He got nothing. No return broadcast. No diplomatic relay. No fleet movement. Just silence. Ravak was insulted. He mobilized his fleet. 30 warships. 2 dreadnoughts. Orbital superiority in under an hour. He descended to the surface himself, escorted by elite honor guards, armed with kinetic shields and ancient plasma lances, inscribed with the names of subjugated species. He chose New Boston as his landing zone, a sprawling megacity that glittered with arcology towers and orbital elevators. The humans didn't fire. They didn't send a representative. They just left the landing zone open and empty, except for a single chair in the center of the plaza. Ravak stepped forward. A human woman sat in it, unarmed, alone, reading a book. She didn't stand when he approached, didn't flinch when his guards surrounded her. She turned a page, then looked up at him. "You're blocking my light." Ravak narrowed his eyes. "You will address me as Lord Commandant. You'll get a nickname if you keep casting shadows," she said, shutting the book. "Now what do you want?" He had executed people for less, but something about her calmness felt off. Still, protocol demanded he deliver the ultimatum once more. Earth is under reclamation. You are occupying a sovereign world of the Thalzir dynasty. You have 24 hours to evacuate before planetary enforcement begins. She tilted her head. "So let me get this straight. You abandoned Earth. For millennia, we built everything, grew into it, defended it, made it ours. And now you want it back because you left your name scratched on a rock once? It was a formal claim, recognized by galactic law." She laughed, not cruelly, almost sadly. "And who enforces that law?" "You." Ravak stepped forward. "If we must remind you of our reach, we will. We once shattered moons for less." The human rose slowly, not angry, not afraid, just disappointed. "Yeah, I've read about empires like yours. They all think force is the answer, that age is power, that a big enough fleet makes you right. But see, there's one thing you never understand. Earth doesn't scare easy." Ravak raised his hand. His guards moved in. She didn't resist. She just whispered something into her wrist and vanished. Instant teleportation? Ravak barked orders. Scans went wild. His dreadnoughts reported no weapons discharges, no atmospheric disturbance. But something was wrong. Very wrong. Because 30 seconds later, all Thalzir orbital channels went dark. Fleet-wide blackouts. One by one, ships blinked off the grid, without a single shot fired. Ravak screamed into the comms, demanded answers. A single message came through. Human origin. No encryption. Earth is not a subject. Earth is not a colony. Earth is home. Come further, and you won't get another warning. We don't explain. We don't run. We erase. Ravak stood on the bridge of his personal flagship, the Dynast Claw, gripping the edges of command dais as the reports rolled in. His fleet hadn't been destroyed. It had been disabled, instantly, remotely, silently. No explosions. No sabotage. Just full systems lockdown across every capital ship, their AI cores unresponsive, encrypted under unknown protocols, all bearing Earth-based digital signatures. This wasn't a defense system. It was a reversal of surveillance. Earth had been watching them, learning, mapping, waiting. Admiral Psychol appeared on the holopad, her voice strained. We're being held in place, my lord. Every attempt at override is met with recursive system fragmentation. The humans have infiltrated the core of our fleet software. Rivak couldn't believe it. That's impossible. Our code predates their spaceflight by millennia. And yet, here we are. Then came the visuals. From every ship's forward-facing cams, Earth's orbital horizon blooming with movement, but not warships, not capital destroyers, no traditional armada. Instead, hundreds, thousands of modular vessels launched from planetary rings, corporate stations, defense contracts long dismissed as civilian. Earth hadn't built a navy. They'd built a distributed threat network, millions of semi-autonomous systems, AIs, and drone platforms capable of being militarized in seconds. It wasn't a fleet. It was a response system. Every satellite, every ship, every orbital cleaner or mining pod, all now pointed at the Thalzir fleet. None fired, but everyone was armed. Rivak demanded an audience with Earth's leadership. What he received was another broadcast from the same woman. She stood in a quiet forest clearing, unarmed, calm. You wanted Earth, she said, but you came with demands, ultimatums. You showed your strength first. That was your mistake. Because humans don't measure power in weapons. We measure it in what we're willing to walk away from. Rivak's jaw clenched. We came peacefully. No, you came entitled, she interrupted, and we responded with restraint. Restraint, he shouted. You disabled a royal fleet. She gave a small smile. Yes, but we haven't destroyed it, because we're still being polite. That word again. Polite. Rivak realized too late what it truly meant. Earth's politeness wasn't submission. It was a warning, a final one, and politeness had a threshold. Deep inside the Dynast claw, unknown processes began compiling. Code artifacts not from Earth, but rewritten by Earth's post-scarcity synthetic intelligences. Concepts not limited by hierarchy or tradition. Rivak barked orders to vent the mainframe. Kill the AI. It was already too late. His ship went quiet. And then it played music. Soft. Familiar. Terran jazz. Mockery? No. A signal. They could destroy him. They chose not to. For now, every Thalzir officer, every crew member, every Thalzir aboard. Not war. A demonstration. A masterclass in non-kinetic dominance. Rivak had no choice. He issued the order to retreat. But Earth wasn't done, because as the fleet began pulling back, Earth sent one final message. Text only. You came to take Earth. You thought it was yours. But what you really did was remind us why we built all this in the first place. Rivak, once heir to a third of the galactic empire, realized the truth as his ship was finally allowed to regain propulsion. They didn't lose a battle. They had lost the right to call themselves the Apex. Because Earth wasn't rising. Earth had been waiting. The Thalzir fleet limped home, battered not by fire, but by humiliation. Their vessels, once symbols of dominance, now recorded in archives as having been held hostage without a single human casualty. No blood spilled. No ships lost. Only pride. The Thalzir High Circle met in secret, attempting to rationalize it. An anomaly, a cyber warfare fluke, some ancient artifact buried on Earth's crust. But the truth crept into the back of every mind in that chamber. Humanity wasn't behind. They had surpassed. And worse, they had hidden it. Rivak, now stripped of his title and assigned a dishonor-bound observer post on the fringe, watched the stars in silence. He had reviewed the Earth incident over 1,000 times. The simplicity of it, the restraint. They could have erased the fleet. They didn't. They didn't want to conquer. They wanted the galaxy to understand something without escalation. A line had been crossed, and Earth had let them walk back from it. That meant Earth didn't fear them. Earth had plans. Elsewhere, in the interstellar markets, subtle shifts occurred. Trade routes once dominant in the inner sectors now bent toward Terran transit lines. New AI cores sourced from Terran labs began outperforming even the most ancient galactic brands. Diplomatic networks once loyal to Thalzir began negotiating in English. No wars. No declarations. Just gravity. The quiet gravity of dominance earned, not seized. Then came the second mistake. A lesser client race of the Thalzir, the Valkyrie, thought they could undo the shame by launching a probe strike at one of Earth's deep space data relays. It never reached the system. It vanished in interstellar dark. But 2 weeks later, every Valkyrie military satellite broadcast the same clip. The same human woman from before. Still calm. Still polite. You thought we missed it. We didn't. You thought we'd retaliate. We won't. We don't retaliate. We respond. And we've now tagged every Valkyrie military node with persistent logic shadow. Your aggression has been archived. Your future paths are limited. You will never reach the heights you dream of, because from now on, every decision you make will echo through us. The Valkyrie didn't launch another probe. They didn't launch anything for a decade. And slowly, the rest of the galaxy began to understand the new law. Earth doesn't broadcast its power. It radiates it through consequence. Centuries passed. The Thalzir Empire fractured, not through war but through irrelevance. Trade dried. Allies turned. Systems drifted. And Earth kept growing, not as conquerors, but as anchors, refuges, arbitrators, developers of systems even the ancients couldn't unravel. Rivak died on a cold moon, forgotten by the dynasty he once served. But before the end, he left behind a single message, recorded, unsent, meant for whoever found it. We thought Earth would beg. We thought they would kneel. But the moment they looked at us with pity, not fear, I knew we didn't come to conquer Earth. We came to remember why it was left alone, and what waits for those too foolish to forget.